Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Whisper, and today what I have for you is a kind of different video, and this is because recently, since Prime Matchmaking has been implemented, and since I got a chance to play with it a lot more, and when I got demoted to Gold Nova 1, I've had the lovely experience of queuing with silver players again, and I've kind of began to notice a pattern in the players, and I've deduced several reasons why these players are in silver. So if you're probably watching this video, you're probably silver looking for reasons and ways to improve your game so that you can get out of silver. And so without further ado, I present to you 5 reasons you're probably still silver in CSGO. So this first one really isn't on my list as a reason why you're in silver, but something that I'd rather point out to the players who are in silver, who are maybe newer. The first one is that you probably don't have a set view model or crosshair that you're entirely comfortable with. These actually might not seem important as first, as they seem minuscule, but they actually are two of the most important aspects of the game because you have your crosshair and gun on the screen at all the time. It's really beneficial to set up a view model and crosshair that is of your preference, and the default ones are more or less pretty awful in my opinion. And below this video, I'll go ahead and link a view model editor and a crosshair map editor that allows you to pick and choose from a variety of crosshairs and view models that the pros use to create your own. However, you need to remember at the end of the day, it does all come down to preference. So the number 5 reason is that you queue for the maps Dust 2, Mirage, and Cache, and generally you only queue for these maps. And I really like a couple of these maps. I really like Mirage and Cache, but I found that when you're playing in a silver elo, it's really not a good idea to queue for these maps because there are a lot more cheaters, a lot more smurfs, a lot more toxic people, and a lot more trolls than any of the other maps. These 3 maps just generally pull in the most amount of these types of people, and you don't want to be playing with these people if you're trying to win and climb. I recommend learning maps such as Cobblestone, Train, and Overpass, which are queued for a lot less by most people in the community and have a lot less of these cheaters, smurfs, etc, etc. And you'll find that you'll enjoy your games a lot more when you don't have to play with these people, and you'll be winning a lot more games as well. Number 4 is that you have no fucking idea what spray patterns are. You gotta be honest with yourself. You have no fucking idea how to use the AK or the M4A4 or even the A1S. You probably sit there and aim directly at the head the entire time while you're spraying, or you just spray in crazy different directions in hopes that your bullets will hit the enemy. Please, for the love of God, just learn the damn spray patterns. You don't have to learn the entire spray patterns or be a one-tap god. You can just learn the first 10 bullets of the spray patterns for the AK and whichever M4 you use. And to be honest, the M4A1S's spray pattern is literally just hold down for the first 10 bullets, so there's not really any excuse for knowing that. Not to mention you probably spray literally 90% of the time, rather than just trying to burst at longer distances or tap fire. You gotta think about the distance between you and the enemy and consider which one is best. Tap fire is better for distance and spraying is better for closer combat. Number 3 is that you probably pick a weapon that doesn't suit the area that you're playing on each map. It's too often do I see people taking an op to the drop position on Cobblestone, and too often do they instantly die, losing the $4,750, not to mention the armor and the nades that they bought, and possibly a round due to their stupidity. You really have to think about the position that you're playing and choose a gun accordingly. Try to communicate with your teammates that you want to play long B with an op, or pick an SMG or a rifle if you're going to play drop. Stop taking weapons that are meant for range to close quarters combat, and vice versa. Number 2 is that you always push the enemy. This one really ties with number 1 for being the biggest reason you're still stuck in silver. I can't count the amount of times where I've been playing with or against silvers and one thing leads to another and I'm all alone in a 1v5, or the enemy team has one person left despite my team have not taken a site or put ourselves in an overly aggressive position. It's kind of ridiculous how overly aggressive silver players play. Regardless of T or CT, they almost always end up pushing and lose rounds to it for no reason other than they get impatient. You need to learn that Counter-Strike is a game of patience and waiting on the CT side, and can be the same way on the T side sometimes. While Ts have the pressure of planting the bomb, there are a lot of moments where playing slow can get a pick which can give way to a site take as long as you play patiently, and this specifically applies to the lower ranks of the game, as none of them really know how to play patiently. 9 times out of 10 you will have at least one CT push you on the T side, and so as long as you remain patient and pick up that kill, you can almost always turn the round into a 4v5. And the number 1 reason you're probably still stuck in silver in Counter-Strike is that you have to be the most toxic people in Counter-Strike. I hate to be that person, but I'm gonna be really honest here. You get so salty so fucking easily, and you let it control you to the point where you play completely stupid from it. And while most other ranks can contain the toxicity and saltiness, silver players just simply can't. Toxicity takes away aspects from the game more than any of the other reasons on this list. Toxicity can take away from callouts and be detrimental to knowing where the enemies are. Toxicity can lose you a player on your team because they're playing stupid from being salty and toxic. Toxicity can make hearing enemy footsteps or bomb plants / defuses impossible to hear. Toxicity can cause other teammates to tilt and get angry and take away communication from the game. All this because that one guy on your team won't shut the fuck up about how useless his team are or how obnoxious the enemy team is. And I hate to say this, but this happens way more often than it doesn't happen to me when I'm playing with silvers. Just a couple of days ago, I uploaded a video, it was a highlight video, in which I showcased the toxicity of silver players in a single match. The funny part was that this match was still easily winnable so long as our teammates kept good communication and morality. However, that didn't happen. The two players decided that it was a good idea to just continue flaming each other and leaving the other three of us to call and try and win a 3v5. It's absolutely ridiculous to throw away games just due to being angry. Control your emotions and calm the hell down. I'm almost certain that if you can learn to control your emotions, you will get out of silver almost immediately and the rest of the tips will follow. This tip should be followed above else as it makes learning and playing the game a lot more fun and a lot easier and makes losing a whole lot less likely. So those are the top 5 reasons you're probably still stuck in silver in CSGO. Keep in mind there are some minuscule other reasons that are less important than the 5 that I mentioned in this video, and those aren't really as important as these 5. I really recommend focusing on these 5, and you'll probably see yourself getting out of silver really fast if you follow these 5. Keep in mind I was a silver at one point, and so I've experienced a lot of these problems, and I did learn these myself. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Whisper, and I'm out. Peace.